Alright, so putting in these scrapers, I gotta tell you, is pretty close to a nightmare. Okay, I got them shaped to where they gotta be, right? But they don't have holes in them in the backs, and they tell you to line it up and use a hole puncher, okay, which works. It does work, but getting all the holes lined up from the metal to the rubber is a nightmare. The other thing is, if you look at this track, this that goes on the rubber, it's got holes up to where the fly window would go. So if they know your fly window is gone, why wouldn't they have holes across the whole thing so that you can make holes in your door and get this felt, this scraper to adhere better to your door, and then in this section where your window is, I don't know how they expect you to hold it on. So what I did so far is I'm cutting 3 more holes in here. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is, because it's very hard to get in here, it's very hard to get in here with a drill. So what I'm doing is, I mean, it's working as good as possible, but is I'm taking the drill here and I'm just putting a socket over it and holding it and letting the socket ride along the edge of the door so I don't cut up the door while I'm drilling the hole. I did it also with a small drill bit to start, so I wanted to test out the theory, and it seems to be working. And once I do that, I'll mark where those holes are on that piece of metal, and I'll drill those 3 holes, and then I'll line it up and hole punch the holes in the rubber. That way I get a much stronger, or a nice tight bond on this scraper, because I don't know what they expect you to do from here all the way to here. Glue ain't gonna hold that over time. That's impossible. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If you can keep your fly windows, keep your fly windows. It's not worth all this. It's already gone on mine. If I had the parts, I'd put it back. I'll tell you that right now. The window does not go up and down properly. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But it is what it is, and I'm going to make it work. But you have to me, at least 3 more holes, which is what I'm doing now. Okay? And also over here where they tell you to cut the end of the rubber back, they tell you to cut the rubber back so you can arc it like this. Well, one of those holes is all the way over here, right at the arc. So when you cut it, you can't even use that one anymore, which doesn't make any sense. They should warn you about that also. So anyway, so what I was doing was riding this on here while I drill, so you can see, so this way you don't hit your door by mistake. I'm going to drill this other one. I got one more. I did small pilot holes first. I need to use 2 hands, so I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to finish the 3rd hole, and then I'll line up my metal strip, mark where those holes are, and see if I can drill through the metal strip. Okay. Okay, so this metal strip wasn't long enough to actually make it to the last hole I drilled, but I'm just going to put the 2 new ones and all the rest. And if you can see right here where the bend is, that one ain't going to be usable anymore. I'm going to try to put something there to hold it anyway, because it'll at least hold the metal that's going to be glued to it. So they say to use RTV silicone behind or in between these 2 pieces. I'm going to use a very, very thin layer, because it's just going to squeeze out anyway. And with these extra holes that I put, my plan is, they give you these metal clips, but I also bought some plastic ones that I can get in here, so I'll use those as well. I'm going to actually use those on here first and see how they work, because if they work better than the metal clips, I might just go ahead and use the plastic ones, because I saw someone else do that on YouTube as well, and it looked like it worked much better, and he was having a hard time with those metal clips holding in tightly. Okay, I'm going to glue this piece in, get both sides ready, and then I'll record again. Okay, I'm going to put a small line of this inside the rubber and get this channel put in there on both of them, and I'll be back. Okay, this one's ready to put in. Let's see how this is going to go. Once it's in, it says to cement the ends. I'm not sure that's going to go either. It's like you need something to squeeze these together. I'm thinking they should all be put in there first. Alright, so it looks like they don't explain this to you, but the inside holes on the inside of the door are bigger than the outside holes, which are very thin. Because I just noticed that some of these clips, if you can see it, some of these clips are fatter and some are thinner. And I just realized that. Luckily, I've been putting the thick ones in on the side that's getting the thick ones. I actually put one in wrong. So the inside of the door gets the thicker clip, and the outside of the door gets the thinner clip. And the holes that I made is going to get my own clip. On the sections that I drilled out, I'm going to use these. These are, I guess, like a push one that is for door panels and whatnot. I'm going to cut it so that it's thin and not so round. I'll cut it so it's like rectangular and fits in between the track. And I'm going to use those on the holes that I made because I don't want to run out of the other clips. Let me get a knife. And so I'm cutting these back. So they look like this. I don't know why this camera is not focusing. Okay, it looks like my holes aren't big enough. The square holes that it comes with, it actually fits through, but I got to drill these holes a little bigger. Okay, so these clips that it comes with, you can see them, do not stay in the door. They pop right out. I don't get it. Maybe it's some China junk. They don't really stay. I'm going to give it one more shot, and then I'm going to give up on that and use mine. This is ridiculous. I've never seen such a nightmare to do something in my life. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this difficult. Doesn't work. You gotta be careful you don't bend this up because it's never gonna work right. They're not spring steel. They stay crushed. They stay crushed. They should spring back and lock in. But when you squeeze them to put them in, they don't spring back. What a bunch of junk this is. They should be ashamed of themselves. The J-Bugs that I bought these from. If you're listening, J-Bugs, this is junk. The spring steel, it doesn't spring. They bend, and that's it. It should be a hard, case-hardened spring steel of some sort. You can't use these clips. Impossible. You're gonna have to try to use the ones that I have, which are those black plastic ones. I'm gonna cut a few more and see if it'll work. It's very frustrating. J-Bugs, if you're watching, this kit sucks. Every Beetle door is the same size. Why do you gotta drill your own holes? Why do you have to cut up the edges and curve it? Because it's made cheap, that's why. Use a better one. Just ridiculous. The last guy that did this on YouTube is the reason why I got these. So if I didn't get these, I wouldn't even be able to put them in now. I'll tell you what, like I said before, leave the stock windows stock. Leave the fly windows alone. There's no way worth all this aggravation to get rid of a fly window that you really need for air anyway. You know, you'd think when you buy a kit that it would be proper and someone else would have had used it and maybe went through all the trials and tribulations of figuring it out. Alright, well, this is what it looks like now with my ends in there. We'll see how this sticks in. I finished one side with the window scrapers for the one window kit that has the fly windows removed, which to me Nightmare. Don't ever take your fly windows out. It's not worth it. If I can find a set of fly windows, I'll put them back. But for now, the scrapers are in. It looks good. The window goes up and down nice and smooth. No more jumping. I oiled it all up, greased it, put all the new scrapers on. The clips that come with the MP kit are the worst. They didn't spring back. I had to order some black plastic push-in plugs and cut the heads into a T to get them to fit. I think I showed it on the video. You'll be able to see that. And I also called and complained to J-Bugs, which backs up this stuff as best they can, and sent me some clips for Carmen gear, but they don't fit. The holes are too big on the Beetle. The Carmen gear clips do not fit at all, so don't try it. Waste of time. I used, I believe it's 8mm push-in plugs and 4.75, I think they were millimeter plugs, which are actually really still too big too. I had to cut them down and kind of makeshift it, but I got it in good. I drilled extra holes for the length where the fly windows were inside the doors and got that plugs to fit in there as well. And I'll show you. Okay, the window scrapers on this side are done. I don't recommend doing it. It is a nightmare. Like I said, they're in. They look good. I put new felt around the top. The window scraper on the inside is done as well. I have to put the door panel back, and I still have to do the other side, which I did cut, shape, and I put the RTV silicone in between the metal and the rubber. That has to dry for 48 hours. I still haven't done the headliner yet because it's too cold out. It needs to be at least 51 degrees or higher, which was actually for the insulation, but I'm using that for the spray as well, the glue. I'm going to read the can and see if it has a temperature on it actually, because maybe I can. Maybe I'm just going by the other glue, but I also don't want this to fall down when I'm done. So there it is. And besides that, I feel like working on this guy a little bit. We'll get the Baja a little love and attention. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. And today I'm going to be putting the rear panels on each side of the back seat. There's small panels that match the door panels with these clips right here. Little fastener clips. That's the part number. You can see that. These are the panels. They're brand new. 2 of these, and basically these little clips just slide into the holes and it pops in. On the car itself there's a little, looks like a plastic grommet that goes in each hole, and those grommets are already in there from somebody else, I guess, or the previous panels, so they look fine unless someone popped them in and they were in this box. I don't know, that's the way I bought the car. But I'm going to put the clips in, pop those in, and get this seat back in and get this thing looking good. Alright, here we go. Looks like I need to get a screwdriver and pry these open a little bit, because they're kind of tearing into the backing of the side panels, which kind of feels like almost like a cardboard. So I'll spread it apart a little bit. Yeah, it's better. I may need to order a few, maybe another box of these, because they do break very easily, and it looks like I probably lost a few on one of the front door panels. They broke, I must have broke at least 5 or 6 of them. So if the set is exactly what you need, I would suggest getting 2 sets. Here it is, the clips are in, and I'll do the other one, and then we'll get in the car and put them in. 9, 10. Yeah, see, I only have 4 left. Not enough for a door panel for sure. So I'm going to get another box, unfortunately. Okay, second one. All the clips are in. Okay, I got the clips in, so I got to go in the back of the car now and pop these bad boys in. Alright, it looks like the seat brackets are in the way, so I got to take the seat brackets out that hold the back seat up, I guess. Usually locks up. So I got to take those out of the way and put the panels in. And actually the panel doesn't have holes for that bracket, so let's see what we're going to do. Okay, I snapped in the back panels. Looking pretty good. You can see it's kind of dark in here, but I got to do the one more door panel still. But it's almost done. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. That's it for today. Side panels are in. I might add this to another video, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm probably going to put the other door panel on and the window scrapers that are missing on the passenger door now. Everything else is done. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.